to more exciting coverage of the 2015 Audi R8 LMS Cup. The Cup is making its debut in Taiwan, and we're set for a triple header here, making up for a race earlier in the season that was shortened due to deteriorating track conditions. Reigning champion Alex Young, 2012 series winner Marchi Li, and Chinese motorsport star Frankie Chen resumed their Cup campaigns after a fantastic 12th place finish at the Nürburgring 24-hour race. And Audi DTM driver Eduardo Mortara joins the Cup in Taiwan in place of current championship leader Rahul Fry, who has other Audi commitments in Germany. Coming up in the show today, we'll find out more about how motorsport is growing in this beautiful part of the world. And we'll take a closer look at the standing start used to have the Cup races, one of the new features this year. But first, let's take a quick look back at all the action from rounds 3 and 4 in Korea.
The second event for the 2015 Audi R8 LMS Cup in South Korea saw Rahul Fry and experienced LMS Cup rookie Jean-Carl Vernet battling at the front of the field. Vernet won round 3 after Fry was forced into an early retirement, but the Swiss driver fought back in the later race to work her way through the back of the field to a stunning victory. Aditya Patel and Thomas Fjordbach added to their strong debuts in Zhuhai. However, their weekends wouldn't be without challenges. Patel had to work his way through the field after a poor start to finish off the podium in round 3, whilst Fjordbach, who claimed an impressive second in the opening race, looked set for victory in round 4 until contact from Vernet dropped into 5th. Taiwan's Jeffrey Lee too enjoyed a solid weekend in South Korea, the experienced Audi campaigner showing just how great a threat he will be on home soil with a pair of top 5 finishes. Rahul Fry's round 4 victory has given her the lead in the points. But now we're moving on to Taiwan, where defending title holder Alex Young, 2012 champion Marchi Li, and Frankie Chen resumed their Cup campaigns after racing to a superb 12th place finish at the Nuremberg 24-hour race last month. The 2015 championship is a long way from over.
This is the first time the Cup has been to Taiwan, so this circuit right on the water here in southwestern Taiwan is new to most of these drivers. Our reporter Mark Dwyer asked Alex out to talk us through some of the key spots on the track.
So Alex, we're standing here at turn 1. You have this long sweep down the straight. You're trying to cut this corner, but you have this curb here. So what, as drivers, do you do to avoid it?
You have to avoid it, because if you run onto it, your car is not exactly going to flip, but it's probably going to ruin your suspension and stop your race. I did the simulator for this track before I came over, and I never brake here. I just went straight past it and brake over there. But the real thing is a lot scarier than the video game.
On the whole, this is a very narrow track, so not too many opportunities to overtake. But coming in to turn 5 here, this is somewhere where you could potentially make a move.
Yeah, that's right. This is where you try and outbrake the other guy on the outside and then park your car on the apex so that the other car cannot drive through you.
Even though it's pretty late in the evening, the night before the race, it's still very hot. How tough is that for you guys in the car?
Very tough. Unlike a road car, we don't have air conditioning, and some of the guys have some cooling system and that sort of thing, but I thought, I'm a tough guy, so I don't need all that. But here it's really taxing on the body, and I wish I did more fitness training before this.
You can see some of the black marks here where cars have gone off, and I believe you happen to know about 2 of these particular tracks here.
Yes, actually in the first practice this morning, I tried to take this corner with no braking or little braking, and then I changed my mind saying that, oh, this is a bit too quick, and I braked. But then I just touched the wall this morning.
Well, the track certainly should make for some fantastic racing. Let's go and see who comes out on top in the first race of the weekend here in Taiwan.
First opened in October 2011, Penbay International Circuit is 3.527 kilometres in length and features 16 turns in a clockwise rotation. So after qualifying, Eduardo Mortara took pole position. Then in the Super Pole shootout, he extended his advantage to take the top spot. Marchi Lee would start on the front row, Frankie Cheng and Alex Jung on row 2. Thomas Fjordbach and Aditya Patel, the two youngsters, on row 3, ahead of Jeffrey Lee and Johnson Huang. Then it was Stefano Montesi, Kevin Chen, KOU, Alex Au, Ashraf Diwal and Kimi Chin. Coming up for a start for round 5 of the Audi R8 LMS Cup Series from Penbay International Circuit in Taiwan. Pole sitter Eduardo Mortara taking the lead. Marchi Lee started on the front row, but Frankie Cheng dived into position number 2. It's reigning champion Alex Jung having Thomas Fjordbach diving up the inside on the run into turn 3. It's interesting to see how they come out. Has Fjordbach managed to take the position away from Alex Jung? Yes, he has. Looking at Frankie Cheng down to turn 5. That's Marchi Lee into the side. That's forced Frankie wide. Alex Jung too has gone wide. Fjordbach's taken position away. Frankie's now lost position to Marchi Lee. He'll regroup. Now Jeffrey Lee's gone wide, so too his teammate Kevin Chen. This is keeping the big crowd in the grandstands entertained as the pack further at the front of the field starting to battle. You can see mirrors bouncing off cars. It's getting very tight as they head into the second lap. Now we have Alex Jung again under fire. Johnson Huang's moved on to his tail. Alex Jung now, he's got Jeffrey Lee has passed him, the local hero, the man very instrumental in having the Audi R8 LMS Cup start here at Penbay International Circuit. Jeffrey holding position, just tagged very slightly down at the hairpin there by Alex Jung. That has slowed him up. Alex is going to look for a position around the outside to try and take the position back, but Jeffrey's got the line, he's going to hold it. Now Stefano Montesi's moved into the equation. So has KOU. This has got very interesting. 3 wide. It's a very narrow circuit. That's going to be hard to pull off. Edo Mortara subbing for the absent points leader. Rahel Frey continues to lead. Windscreen wipers now on. A little bit of rain starting to fall. This could have a big impact on the race. Dark skies. It's been threatening all week. Andrew Kim now affected by the rain. So that is the AM class points leader. So he's going to drop back behind Johnson Huang. Frankie Cheng still holds on to position 2. Thomas Fjordbach, the young Danish driver, has been very impressive this year. Been on the podium a number of times already. He is pushing hard to try and catch him. The other impressive youngster, Aditya Patel, has been very quick all weekend. He'll be looking for championship points. Up front, Eduardo Mortara continues to lead. Frankie Cheng is getting ever closer, but has Mortara got what it takes to get to the line first? Yes, he's done it. Mortara's taken victory. Frankie Cheng crosses the line in second, and a very impressive drive by Thomas Fjordbach for third.
I was really suffering today. It's the first time in my own entire career that I'm suffering that much, and definitely it was a quite a good challenge actually today.
So victory to Eduardo Mortara from Frankie Cheng and Thomas Fjordbach. Aditya Patel crosses the line in 4th place and with that result claims the championship points lead. Marchi Lee's 5th ahead of Stefano Montesi, Alex Jung and KOU. Johnson Huang claims 9th place and the AM class victory ahead of Jeffrey Lee, Kimi Chin, Ashraf Diwal and Daniel Bilski.
One of the new features in the Cup this year is the standing start for the second race of each weekend. In addition to the rolling start used in the first, we spoke to some of the drivers to find out how they prepare for both kinds of starts.
This year we have the standing start, so we have invented the launch control on the R8 LMS car.
The launch control will be a help for the driver to have a better standing start and to have a better acceleration from the standing start.
Now we have 3 settings, 1, 2 and 3, and we can determine ourselves as a driver while we're at the grid which traction control level we want. So you're mentally prepared, right? You must have everything ready by the time the board comes out and wait for the lights to go off.
Yeah, I had a few discussions with the engineers. I don't think that I will prepare it or I will think about it in a different way than normal starts. I'm used to standing starts in DTM, so for me it's not a new thing.
In rolling start, that we have to see what is going on between the other car because it's rolling. Standing start, that preparation that I always count on the green light and red light to green light is always between 7 seconds.
The quickest driver with the reaction will be the best one.
I think it's very important to practice the start because, you know, the launch control and everything must be go right in the start. So I think it's very important, especially here.
You cannot really prepare it before. It's a lot about you know what the others are doing. It's improvisation.
It's hard to predict, and that's why I like it so much. I actually enjoy the standing start now. We've had 2 races with it, and because it's a bigger question mark. Everyone will start a little bit differently. That's fun.
Well, we've heard what drivers think about the standing start. Now let's go and see how they do when it counts. It's time for round 6 of the 2015 Audi R8 LMS Cup.
Preparing for a start in front of this big, happy local crowd at Penbay International Circuit in Taiwan. Round 6 of the championship. We'll see Edoardo Mortara, the Italian driver, on pole position with Marchi Lee alongside. Thomas Fjordbach and Aditya Patel will start from row 2 ahead of Frankie Cheng, Alex Jung, Kevin Chen, Jeffrey Lee, Stefano Montesi and Andrew Kim. Further back in the pack we'll see Alex Au, one of the leading AM class drivers, alongside KOU, Kimi Chin, Johnson Huang and Ashraf Dewell. Standing start for round 6 of the championship, and it's Mortara who's moved across very aggressively on Marchi Lee, but Marchi's managed to get the better of the start. Remember, Mortara's carrying 50 kilos extra by virtue of winning yesterday's race. That's Thomas Fjordbach moving up the inside. 3rd yesterday, he's looking for better today. Can he make the move inside Mortara? He's got the inside run into 4, but he'd be on the wrong side for turn 5. Turn 5 is where the overtaking manoeuvres have been, but oh, look, he's gone up the inside. He's taken both of them. So whilst the leaders are battling over the front position, Fjordbach's gone straight down the inside. Now he needs to protect. Mortara's going to try the outside. There's no move there. Fjordbach rightly holds his line. Mortara has to put a couple of wheels in the dirt. On board now with Aditya Patel, tucked under the rear wing of Marchi Lee, coming through turn number 8. The leaders have been hard at it. There's contact. That is Fjordbach and Edoardo Mortara making contact at the front of the field. Now that's dropped Fjordbach back into the pack, and he's dropping back further position, so that hasn't worked out well for him. It looks like he has a problem. Here's a replay on board now with Mortara as he takes a dive up the inside, just clips the young Dane, forces him wide into a spin and contact again. We've seen this before. It was last time round in South Korea, and it was J.K. Vernay and Thomas Fjordbach. That resulted in a 30-second time penalty for Vernay, and that may create a precedent for Mortara at the end of this race. This hasn't ended well either for local television star Hao Yao, making his debut in Audi R8 LMS Cup. He stopped on the run into turn 1, and that has brought out the safety car. But on the restart, it's Mortara leading away. Again, 50 kilos additional weight penalty for this race. Tyres is another issue here this weekend. 3 races, but only 2 sets of tyres. You have to choose whether you're going to run new rubber in race 1, 2 or 3, and that will give some small edge to those drivers that expect to start on the fresher rubber. Now this is Alex Jung and Marchi Lee. Marchi's been in the battles all weekend. He was very aggressive in race 1. That cost him a little. He had to come through after a drive-through penalty. Now he's back in the wars again. He's battling hard. He loves the run down into turn 5. Last of the late breakers, but he isn't able to go around the outside of Alex Jung. Alex Jung retains the position. Marchi is going to have another look on the run through turn 4. Oh, he spun. This is not going to help his forward progress. He has been one of the quickest drivers here all weekend. It looks like he might have just clipped that high curb on the run into turn 5. Now it's Stefano Montesi moving up on the rear of Alex Jung. Alex Jung has been under fire this weekend. He started very tough. In the first race, he was carrying a 50-kilogram weight penalty from the opening round in Zhuhai. He's managing to just open up the gap now. That is Kevin Chen has moved on to the tail of Montesi. The AM class points leader now has his teammate Jeffrey Lee on his tail. Now he's moved over to let him through because he's got such a great advantage in the AM class. That allows Jeffrey Lee onto the tail of this pack. Now on board with Aditya Patel. He's holding position 2 and trying to keep Frankie Cheng at bay, but Frankie's managed to go around the outside. That's amazing, into turn 5 and take away the position. Now it's the battle for 5th place. That is Jeffrey Lee's got past Stefano Montesi. Now Kevin Chen's looking for a way past. He's been very impressive on his AM class debut here this weekend. Montesi holds position. Oh, he's got a bit squirrely on the midfield. That's allowed Chen to close up. Stefano's going to move across and try and take the line, force him wide. Oh, let's put Chen around. He's gone around. That is frustration. He's been the AM class leader comfortably this race. Now this is his teammate. Jeffrey Lee has stopped. This is the final lap of the race. So Mortara crosses the line and takes the checkered flag, but there'll be some question about whether or not he will face a penalty for that impact with Fjordbach. Frankie Cheng crosses the line in second place ahead of Aditya Patel and Alex Jung. The confirmation then that Mortara has been penalised 30 seconds for that contact with Thomas Fjordbach, handing Frankie Cheng a fantastic victory ahead of Aditya Patel, Alex Jung, Stefano Montesi, a great result, Kimi Chin, KOU, Marchi Lee. Round 5 winner Eduardo Mortara is classified 8th ahead of the AM class winner Alex Au, Ashraf Diwal, Johnson Huang, Daniel Bilski, Kevin Chen, Jackie Jung and Jeffrey Lee.
Well, it's a bit fortunate for me and didn't expect it. And I do my best for the next round. Hopefully we have a perfect weekend in Taiwan.
Before the third and final race of the weekend, let's go and explore some sights and sounds from here in Taiwan and find out how the locals are putting this island on the global motorsports map.
I'm really happy that the Cup comes to Taiwan to race because it means a lot for the motorsport industry in Taiwan. This is the first time ever Penbay is holding the international motor race. We can learn a lot from this event, and we can also attract more motorsport people to join us.
The J-Fly racing team was set up 4 or 5 years ago by Jeffrey Lee. It's one of the best racing teams in all of Taiwan, and we're really focused on developing motorsport here. To further boost the sport in Taiwan, I really hope more local enterprises can give their support to help produce more local racing stars.
With the new track, the industry actually is growing very fast. The factory cars, you can just arrive and drive. So I think this is a big step. I think in a very few years' time, Taiwan will catch the level of the motor sport in the world.
Not only is the Cup here in Taiwan for the first time, but it's also the first time we've had 3 races in the weekend. And the teams have really suffered in the heat, but they have one final race to go. And the points leader, Aditya Patel, starts from pole position.
Getting set for the third and final race here from Penbay International Circuit with the grid set by the championship points. Aditya Patel is on the front row alongside Frankie Cheng, then it's Thomas Fjordbach and Alex Jung on row 2. And it's KOU, Edo Mortara, Marchi Lee and Stefano Montesi. And on row 11 it's Daniel Bilski, followed by Ashraf Diwal, Alex Au, Andrew Kim and Johnson Huang. Getting ready for the second standing start of the weekend, that is Aditya Patel on left of screen, Frankie Cheng on right. Aditya's got a good start, so too has Frankie. Will Aditya get across? He's kept that spot, but it looks like Frankie's going to lose position too. That's the hard-charging Thomas Fjordbach's moved into second position. Up front, Aditya Patel, the points leader, is going to lead down into turn 2. Alex Jung too has moved forward on Frankie. On board now with Alex Jung, looking at the tail of the leaders, heading down to turn 10. That's a move by, Fjordbach's moved across and he's clipped the side of Aditya Patel. That's got the fans on their feet. Now we're looking at the back of Alex Jung from Frankie Cheng as we dive down to turn 15. It's going to be a move here by Alex Jung up the inside of Aditya Patel. No contact. Very close. That has forced Aditya Patel wide, and now that's Frankie Cheng's back into position number 3. That's not good for the points leader. The next one in line is Eduardo Mortara. He knows just how quick the Italian driver is, so he doesn't want to lose any more positions here. Aditya Patel would be doing everything in his power, but now further back he's got Marchi Lee and KOU in the battle. He doesn't want to hang around too long. He's playing it safe. He wants points, and now it's Mortara up the inside. Will he make the move stick? No, he won't make the move stick. That's a couple of times this weekend he's tried that and it's failed to come off. That's allowed Marchi Lee to close up. Strong local crowd loves this. They also love Jeffrey Lee, the local star. There he is in the J-Fly Racing Audi trying to get past Stefano Montesi. Montesi continues to do a fantastic job here this weekend. but I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold Jeffrey Lee out coming through turn 3. That's not the place to be wide and take the position back. Will he do the big diving move down the inside into turn 5? That's a notorious part of the circuit here at Penbay, but no, Montesi has opened the door and let Jeffrey Lee through. Up front though, Thomas Fjordbach's continuing to stretch his advantage. The young Danish driver has been flawless. This has been the drive of the year so far for him, and it looks almost certain victory. You can see how big the lead is. It's 8 seconds now over Alex Jung. Further back, there's Marchi Lee trying to mount a bit of a recovery. He's been in the wars this weekend. Aditya Patel too has dropped back a little bit further than we expected. Back to 6th place now. That's KOU's had a spin. That's the middle of turn 2. How did he end up there? That's mad. Safety car has to come out. He's walked away from the car. It's stranded midfield. You'll see it here just in front of the cars as they come around through turn 2 now. They're removing it off the circuit. The safety car's in, but effectively this is race over. There can be no more passing moves. They're under yellow, so this will present Thomas Fjordbach with an exceptional victory. Alex Jung has made a great recovery after a tough weekend to take 2nd, and Frankie Cheng back on the podium in 3rd.
I'm really nice this time because I had a good pace and I just got away in the start. And actually I saved a lot of my push to passes, so I knew if they will come, I had something in my pocket.
Finished 3rd and 2nd in the last 2 races. Very happy with that.
Coming to this weekend, I never would expect it to finish 3 times on the podium and also grab a win. Getting points is very critical. It's a fantastic weekend, almost a perfect weekend for me.
So Thomas Fjordbach takes a fantastic victory ahead of Alex Jung, Frankie Cheng, Eduardo Mortaro, Marchi Lee and Aditya Patel. And it was Jeffrey Lee, Stefano Montesi, Kimi Chin and the AM Class points winner for the round, Daniel Bilski. Round 5 AM Class winner Johnson Huang finishes in position 11 ahead of Ashraf Dewell, Alex Au and Hao Yao. So after 3 fantastic races at Penbay in Taiwan, Aditya Patel takes over the championship points lead with 80 points. Thomas Fjordbach moves his way up to 2nd with 76 from Frankie Cheng and Alex Jung. Rahel Frey still classified 5th, then Edo Mortara, Marchi Lee, Jean-Carl Vernet, KOU, Stefano Montesi, Jeffrey Lee, Kimi Chin and Rio Fukuda.
What a fantastic weekend with race wins for Frankie Chen and Eduardo Mortara, and Thomas Fjordbach putting a brilliant drive to win round 7. Next up, we'll all be heading to Malaysia. Hope you can join us then. See you soon. Sign up from Taiwan.